Let me ask you something deeply personal. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and told yourself the truth? Not the comforting lie that everything's fine, but the ruthless truth that maybe, just maybe, you've been standing in your own way. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video, because what you're about to hear won't just shift your mindset. It might just transform your entire love life. And trust me, you'll want to watch till the end. Because the last truth, it's the one that separates those who dream from those who rise. Truth number one, no one is coming to save you. Let me tell you a story. There was a time when you loved someone so deeply that you believed they were your anchor. The person who'd pull you back whenever life felt like it was drowning you. You told yourself, as long as they're here, I'll be okay. But one day they left. Maybe slowly, maybe all at once. And the world you built around them started to collapse. You waited for them to come back. You hoped they'd see your pain, realize your worth, and rescue you from the loneliness that swallowed your nights. But they never came. And in that silence, you discovered something no one ever tells you. No one is coming to save you. It's a hard truth, isn't it? We grow up believing that someone will notice when we fall. That life has some hidden savior waiting for the perfect moment to pull us out. But life doesn't work that way. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They believed that strength is built in solitude, not when someone holds your hand, but when you hold your own trembling heart and whisper, I got you. Think about it. How many times have you felt abandoned, only to later realize that it was in that loneliness that you truly grew? That's when you started building yourself piece by piece. No one is meant to carry your pain for you. Not your parents, not your partner, not your friends. Because this journey, your healing, your self-respect, your rise, it's yours alone. But here's where it gets powerful. Once you accept that no one is coming, you stop waiting. You stop blaming. You stop depending on apologies or closure that might never arrive. You start creating your own strength. You see, when you finally take full responsibility for your life, you gain control over it. You no longer say, they hurt me, so I'm broken. Instead, you say, they hurt me, but I'm rebuilding stronger than ever. That's what makes you unstoppable. Not the people who show up, but the courage to move forward when no one does. And I know, it's not easy. There will be nights when you'll crave that voice that once told you everything would be okay. But those nights are your training ground. They're teaching you to become your own source of peace. One day, you'll wake up and realize you didn't need saving. You needed awakening. You'll look back at the person who waited for someone else to rescue them and smile. Because that version of you didn't know yet that she was always her own hero. So tonight, when you stare at your reflection, don't wait for a savior. Be the one. Tell yourself, no one is coming, but that's okay, because I'm already here. And that's when your real story begins. Not when someone saves you, but when you decide to save yourself. Truth number two, comfort is killing you. Let me ask you something personal. Do you remember the moment when love felt new? When your heart raced at every text? When you'd stay up all night just to talk? When you'd go out of your way to make them smile? You didn't need motivation. Love itself was your fuel. You didn't care about sleep, effort, or fear. You just showed up. But then slowly things changed. The messages became shorter. The excitement faded. You stopped trying. You told yourself, we're comfortable now. And that's when it all started to die. You see, comfort isn't always peace. Sometimes it's the slowest form of self-destruction. Whether in love, in life, or in your goals, comfort quietly kills the fire that once made you alive. It doesn't shout, it whispers, you're fine where you are. Don't change, don't grow, just stay. But the truth? Comfort is a liar. It makes you believe that avoiding discomfort will keep you safe, when really, it keeps you stuck. It convinces you that routines, habits, and small pleasures are enough, while deep down, you feel the emptiness of unrealized potential. The Stoics believed that the obstacle is the way, that every struggle, every heartbreak, every challenge you resist is exactly what you need to grow. Remember that breakup you thought you'd never survive? the one that tore you apart. That pain forced you to become someone stronger. It made you reflect, rebuild, and rise. That's what discomfort does. It doesn't destroy you, it reshapes you. But when you run from discomfort, when you stay in that relationship that doesn't challenge you, that job that doesn't excite you, that life that doesn't move you, you start to die in small, invisible ways. Ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you did something that scared you? When was the last time you felt alive, not just comfortable? Because the truth is, love dies when it gets too comfortable. Ambition fades when it feels too safe. And the human spirit, your spirit, starts to rot in the warmth of easy days. Think about a fire. If you stop feeding it, it doesn't explode. It fades quietly into smoke. That's what comfort does to people who once burned bright. You become unstoppable the moment you start walking into discomfort. When you stop avoiding the hard conversations, the awkward silences, the painful truths. You grow when you let your heart break open, when you risk embarrassment to chase what matters, when you face rejection and still choose to try again. So tonight, tell yourself this: I will no longer be a prisoner of comfort, because the things that scare you are not your enemies, they're your invitations. If you want to feel alive again, in love, in purpose, in every breath, step into discomfort. Let it burn. Let it shape you. Because comfort may feel safe, but growth, real, powerful, life-changing growth, only lives where fear begins. Truth number 3, you're not tired. You're unmotivated by mediocrity. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly alive? I'm not talking about scrolling through your phone, half asleep at midnight. I mean the kind of alive that makes your heart beat faster. The kind of alive you felt when you were in love for the first time. Remember that? How you'd stay up all night just to talk to them. You'd wake up early just to see their message. You didn't care about sleep, didn't complain about being tired, because love gave you energy. Passion replaced exhaustion. Now think about today. You wake up, drag yourself through the day, say you're tired, but deep down you know you're not tired. You're unmotivated. You're drained not because you're doing too much, but because you're doing too little that actually matters. You're living a life that doesn't excite your soul. You've traded passion for routine. You're surrounded by comfort, but starving for meaning. The Stoics used to say, man is disturbed not by things, but by the view he takes of them. You're not exhausted by life. You're exhausted by mediocrity, by pretending that fine is good enough. Think about the person you once were, full of dreams, energy, and hope. Where did that person go? You didn't lose them. You buried them under fear, under routines, under the belief that being realistic means giving up on excitement. But the truth is, when your life lacks purpose, even rest feels heavy. You could sleep for 12 hours and still wake up tired. Because your spirit isn't resting, it's rusting. Maybe you feel this in your love life too. That dullness that replaced the spark. The conversations that used to flow are now just survival. You call it peace, but deep down you miss the fire. You miss the version of yourself who loved recklessly, who felt deeply, who lived. That's not tiredness, that's emotional starvation. And you can't fix it with coffee, vacations, or new distractions. You fix it by reconnecting with something that moves your soul. That could be a goal, a purpose, or a person, but it must be something that challenges you to rise again. Remember this: energy doesn't come from rest, it comes from alignment. When your actions match your passion, you don't need motivation. You wake up hungry for life. So ask yourself, what are you doing that drains you? And what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? That would make you feel alive again. You were never lazy. You were never weak. You were just uninspired by mediocrity. The fire inside you never died. It's just waiting for you to give it air again. So stop calling it exhaustion. Call it what it is, the soul's way of begging for something real. And when you start chasing what truly matters, love, passion, purpose, you'll realize you were never tired. You were just sleeping through a life that didn't move you. Wake up. Your spirit has been waiting long enough. Truth number 4. The world owes you nothing. Let me ask you something real. Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you gave them everything? Your time, your energy, your heart, and in return, they gave you silence. Maybe you were always the one who called first, cared more, forgave faster. You kept telling yourself, one day they'll realize my worth. But that day never came, did it? You waited, you gave. You believed that because you loved them purely, they somehow owed you the same love back. But life doesn't work that way, and neither does the world. That's the ruthless truth. The world owes you nothing. Not love, not loyalty, not fairness. And I know that hurts, because deep down, we all want to believe that being a good person guarantees good things. That if you love deeply, you'll be loved the same way. That if you work hard, life will reward you. But reality doesn't follow our feelings. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You see, most heartbreak, whether in love or in life, doesn't come from what people do to us. It comes from what we expect from them. You thought they'd stay forever. You thought loyalty would be returned. You thought kindness guaranteed appreciation. But when they didn't, you felt betrayed. You felt used. You felt small. But maybe that wasn't betrayal. Maybe it was awakening. Maybe life was trying to teach you something powerful. That expectations are the chains that keep you bound to disappointment. The moment you accept that the world owes you nothing, you free yourself from those chains. Think about it. How peaceful would life feel if you did good without expecting anything back? If you loved without needing control? If you worked hard without waiting for applause? That's where true freedom begins. When you realize that life doesn't owe you, but it gives you opportunity. You don't deserve success, you earn it. You don't deserve love. You build it through your actions and consistency. The world doesn't reward victims, it rewards creators. So instead of asking, why didn't they love me like I loved them? Ask, what did this teach me about myself? Instead of saying, I deserved more, say, I'll become more. You become unstoppable the moment you stop waiting for fairness. Because fairness doesn't build strong people, struggle does. And I promise you this, the day you stop expecting the world to give you something is the day the world finally starts giving you everything. Because your energy shifts from neediness to power, from waiting to creating. You stop chasing validation and start attracting respect. You stop begging for love and start embodying it. So the next time you feel like life owes you something, remember this truth. The world doesn't owe you, but you owe yourself the courage to rise, to grow, and to never settle for less than the life you're capable of creating. Because once you own that, nothing and no one can stop you. Truth number 5, people don't care as much as you think they do. Let me ask you something straight from the heart. How many times have you held yourself back? Because you were afraid of what people might think. You stopped posting that photo. You didn't send that message. You stayed silent instead of saying how you really felt. All because you feared being judged. Now think about this. Remember when you loved someone deeply and you were terrified to express it? You kept overthinking, what if they don't feel the same? What if I look desperate? What will people say if I get rejected? You built a wall of hesitation around your heart. Not because you didn't care, but because you thought everyone else did. But here's the truth you need to swallow. People don't care as much as you think they do. The world is not watching your every move. The truth is, most people are too busy worrying about themselves, their appearance, their failures, their own insecurities, to spend much time thinking about yours. You think they're judging your mistakes, but they're thinking about their own. You think they're laughing at your pain, but they're drowning in theirs. Let me tell you a small story. There was a girl who got her heart broken badly. For weeks, she replayed every word, every argument, every message, thinking everyone must be noticing her sadness. She'd walk into work, forcing a smile, thinking, they can all tell I'm broken. But no one said a word, not because they didn't care, but because everyone there was fighting their own silent battles. And that's when she realized the world moves on quickly. The pain that feels like your entire universe is just a passing thought in someone else's mind. Painful, yes, but freeing, absolutely. Because when you realize people don't care as much as you think, you stop living for their approval. You stop shrinking yourself to fit their expectations. You start saying what you feel, doing what you love, and living the life that feels true to you. The Stoics believed that peace comes when you stop trying to control the opinions of others. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. You will never be truly free until you stop fearing judgment." And if you've ever been in love, you know this. When you finally confessed your feelings, that terrifying moment of honesty was also the most alive you ever felt. That's what truth does, it liberates you. So stop living like everyone's watching, because they're not. Stop editing your soul to please people who don't even think about you after they scroll past. The only opinion that matters is the one you'll have of yourself when you're alone. When no one's watching, no one's liking, no one's judging. So the next time fear whispers, "What will they think?" smile and answer, "They probably won't." And that, right there, is your freedom. Truth number 6, your feelings are not facts. Let me ask you something that might sting a little. Have you ever been in love and convinced yourself they didn't care about you anymore, just because they took too long to reply? Or told yourself they were losing interest simply because they seemed distant one day? You sat there staring at your phone, overthinking every silence, every seen message, every word they didn't say. Your mind created a whole story that they were bored of you, that they'd found someone better, that you were no longer enough. And maybe you cried, maybe you got angry, maybe you pulled away, all because of what you felt. But later, when you finally talked to them, you realized something. They weren't ignoring you. They were just busy. They were tired, or they were dealing with their own chaos. That's when it hit you. Your feelings lied to you. See, feelings are powerful, but they're not always true. They're not reality. They're just reactions, emotional storms that rise and fall depending on your thoughts, your fears, your past. The Stoics knew this well. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Your feelings can distort your vision. When you're scared, love can feel like danger. When you're hurt, kindness can feel like pity. When you're lonely, silence can feel like rejection. But that doesn't mean it's real. Think about it. How many times have your feelings convinced you something terrible was happening, only for it to turn out fine? How many times have you ruined a good moment because your emotions whispered, "This won't last"? Feelings can't always be trusted, especially the ones born from insecurity, heartbreak, or fear. It's like standing in front of a mirror after crying. Your reflection looks messy, tired, broken, but that doesn't mean you are broken. It just means you're feeling broken, and feelings pass. They always do. Remember that time after your breakup, when you thought you'd never heal? You told yourself you'd never love again. You swore no one could replace them. But look at you now, stronger, wiser, calmer. That's proof your feelings were never permanent. When you understand that feelings aren't facts, you stop reacting impulsively. You stop sending those late-night messages you'll regret in the morning. You stop assuming the worst. Instead, you pause, you breathe, you respond instead of reacting. Because emotions are like waves. If you don't jump into them too soon, they'll eventually settle. So next time your heart screams, "They don't love me anymore," or "I'm not good enough," pause and ask yourself, is this true? Or is it just how I feel right now? That one question can save your peace, your relationships, and your future. You're not weak for feeling, you're human. But you're powerful when you learn to separate emotion from evidence. So don't let temporary feelings create permanent damage. Feel them, but don't believe everything they say. Because sometimes the heart lies, not to hurt you, but to test if you'll listen to your wisdom instead. Truth number 7. You are replaceable. So make yourself valuable. Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you thought they'd never leave you? You gave them everything, your time, your care, your loyalty, because you believed deep down that no one could ever replace you. But one day they did. They stopped calling. They stopped caring. and you were left wondering, how could they move on so easily? That's the moment most people break. But the truth is, that moment can make you too. Let me tell you something that might sting a little, but it's the kind of pain that heals you. You are replaceable in love, in work, in friendships. Harsh? Yes. But that's what makes this truth powerful. Once you accept that you're replaceable, you'll stop begging for validation and start building value. Think back to that one person who walked away, the one who made you feel small, the one who made you question your worth. Remember how you replayed every memory, the laughs, the promises, the messages that used to make your heart race. You probably asked yourself, wasn't I enough? But here's the twist. Being enough was never the problem. You were enough for that version of them and for that version of yourself. But you stopped growing. You became comfortable being loved instead of becoming someone unforgettable. Let me tell you a story. Imagine a man named Ali. He was in love with a woman named Sarah. She loved him, truly. But over time, Ali stopped trying. He stopped learning, stopped improving, stopped showing the world his strength. He thought love was enough to keep her. But Sarah began to drift, not because she didn't love him, but because he stopped loving himself. One day, Sarah left. She didn't leave because of someone better. She left because Ali stopped being his best self. Months later, when Ali finally stood in front of the mirror, he didn't see a victim anymore. He saw a man who had forgotten his value, and he promised himself that he'd never let that happen again. That's when everything changed. He started working out, reading, growing, chasing his purpose. He became someone who didn't need love to feel valuable, but someone whose value naturally attracted love. And that's the key, isn't it? To become so valuable that losing you feels like a tragedy to anyone who ever took you for granted. So, let me ask you this. If the person you love walked away today, what would be left of you? Would you crumble? Or would you rise? Would you spend your night stalking their profile? Or would you use that pain to build a version of yourself so strong that even your past self wouldn't recognize you? Because here's the truth. The world doesn't reward people who expect to be loved. It rewards people who earn respect through their value. You are replaceable, but that's your power. It means you can't take your worth for granted. You can't coast on yesterday's effort or yesterday's love. Every single day, you must prove to yourself that you are valuable, not for anyone else, but for you. So don't chase being needed, chase being irreplaceable. Be the kind of person who, when you walk out of someone's life, they don't just miss you, they realize they'll never find another you. And if you've ever been replaced, don't let that destroy you. Let it refine you. Because the moment you start building yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you become someone this world can't ignore. Remember this, the most dangerous person alive is the one who knows they're replaceable, but acts like they're one of a kind. That's your power. That's your truth. Make yourself so valuable that losing you becomes their biggest regret. Truth number 8, you will die, and that's your greatest gift. Let's start with a question. If you knew that the person you love the most would not be here tomorrow, would you treat them differently today? Would you hold them tighter, listen longer, and tell them how much they mean to you? Now, let's turn that question toward you. If you knew you wouldn't be here tomorrow, would you still waste today worrying about who texted you back, or who didn't care enough to stay? You see, death isn't just an ending, it's a reminder, the sharpest one we have, that life is slipping through our fingers every second. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Hamza. He loved deeply, a woman who made him believe that forever was real. They had plans, promises, and endless late-night conversations about the future. But life had its own plans. One night, while driving home from work, Hamza got a call, an accident. In a moment, everything changed. That night, he sat on the floor, holding his phone, scrolling through her pictures, reading her old messages. "I'll see you tomorrow," the last one said. But tomorrow never came. Days passed and Hamza stopped living. He moved through the world like a ghost, breathing but not alive. Until one morning he stood in front of her photo and whispered, "If death can take everything I love in an instant, then what am I doing wasting my life?" That realization hit him like thunder. Death isn't the enemy. Forgetting to live is. From that day, he stopped waiting for the right time. He called his parents just to say he loved them. He started writing, traveling, laughing again. He began to live, not because life was long, but because it was short. And that's the truth most of us avoid. You will die. I will die. Everyone you love will die. But instead of fearing that, what if we used it? What if every heartbeat reminded us to love harder, to forgive faster, to live more intentionally? Because here's the thing. Mortality gives meaning to everything. You love deeply because it could end. You cherish moments because they're fleeting. You become unstoppable because time is running out. So, tell me honestly, how much time have you wasted on people who didn't see your worth? How many nights have you cried over words that won't matter in a year? How many dreams have you buried because you thought you had time? Death reminds us you don't. That's the gift hidden inside the fear. Urgency. The fire to live today so fully that when your time finally comes, you don't regret a single breath. Imagine sitting next to the person you love and realizing that this touch, this laugh, this moment will never happen again. You wouldn't argue. You wouldn't hold back your love. You'd just be present. That's what death teaches us, to be alive. So stop living like you'll last forever. Stop postponing your happiness. Stop thinking you have time to say, I love you, or I'm sorry, or I'll try tomorrow. Tomorrow isn't promised, but today is yours. And when you start living with that awareness, when you understand that every sunrise is a gift, every heartbeat is borrowed time, you stop being afraid of death. You start using it as your greatest motivator. Because the truth is, death isn't the end. It's the reminder that life is worth living now. So love with everything you have. Chase the dreams you keep delaying, and leave behind a story that even death can't erase. Because one day, your time will run out. But if you truly live, your impact never will. Closing thought. Life will never slow down for you. People will come and go. Love will break you, heal you, and break you again. But every scar, every goodbye, every failure, it's all shaping you into someone unstoppable. Remember these 8 ruthless truths not as pain, but as power. Because the moment you stop lying to yourself, you begin to see the world and yourself as it truly is. You are replaceable, so make yourself valuable. You will die, so live fully. And when life tries to break you, smile, because it can't destroy someone who's already accepted everything. So stop waiting for the perfect time or the perfect person. Start becoming the person you were meant to be. Strong, calm, grounded, unshakable. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.